Welcome back to the Rise Talkshow. I'm your host, Sudan Mukaya. In a political landscape locked in a fierce but predictable tug of war between two massive coalitions, PH, the PNBN today, the question on many voters' mind is simple: is there any room left for principal third force? Fresh off their latest AGM last week, Parti Sosialis Malaysia is attempting to answer that very question. They are pushing forward with their bloc progressive platform, chartering a new path to post-state election realities and eyeing a stake in the political terrains ahead. Joining us today is PSM Central Committee member and author Arveent Kathirtchelvan. We are dissecting PSM's post-AGM strategy, whether third force can genuinely survive a two-bloc system in Malaysia, and also digging into his latest book, Red Tiger, Practical Socialism in Malaysia, published by Gerakbudaya. Arveent, welcome to the Rise Talkshow.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
All right, how's things with you after the AGM?
I think this AGM was quite eye-opening in the sense that we had a lot of people, a lot of delegates, a lot of outside supporters as well, and it just goes to show every single year when we have our Congress. We call it AGM Congress.
Okay.
So every single way we have the Congress, there's more and more people who are coming, more people who are interested in the party, who are curious.
Okay.
And generally what we have is we have a lot of our booths that showcase a lot of our merchandise and also our campaigns.
Yeah.
We had a lot of interested people who are coming in and asking us as well. So we see that there is renewed interest within a alternative political bloc, as you said.
Okay.
And that's what we are striving towards.
Okay, there's a question that runs on people's mind. Is PSM an Indian party? Especially when you look at the current CWC lineup that came into recently. All the names are all Indians. While I did see a lot of your members who are mixed up, what happened there?
I think firstly we have to look at it in a historical context. When PSM started, a lot of the struggles that we were involved in were Indian struggles. We have housing struggles that are going on. In fact, this year we finished two struggles by getting houses for two plantations, actually workers of two plantations, after 27 years of struggle.
Yeah.
So the historical context is such that we were involved in many of these, and a lot of our members and cadres came from the grassroots in that sense. And when we look at the pressures that are on ordinary Malaysians, especially in coming to alternative blocks such as this, or even getting interested in politics, outside of the struggles that we have based on there, it's difficult for them to choose PSM. However, having said that, for the first time in PSM history, amongst our active members, 56% are Malay. In our CWC, we have elected more Malays, actually. We have Amir Shafiq, who has come in as well. We have more Chinese as well. We've got Cho Chuan Kai, we have Sokwa, we have Hishan. And as we go on, a lot of the members that are more diverse, actually they're very young, they joined the party very recently. In another 5 to 10 years, you will see a very different face of PSM that more accurately reflects the demographics on the ground.
I'm told that to basically stand in the elections, you have to commit a certain number of years as a CWC or as a member. Is that right?
Not for elections, not for internal party elections. We have that for external elections, actually. So for when we run for parliament or DON, our rule is,
and even the by-elections as well.
Even by-elections, any election essentially, you have to have served your community for at least 2 years. That is to make sure that all of our members that are becoming candidates, they are of good quality and they understand the issues on the ground. But for the internal party elections, there's no such
rules.
There's no such rules. It's just that if you do more, you're more popular. That's the rule that we have.
All right, cool. So we were invited obviously for your congress.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it was 18 years, but you guys were celebrating 28 years of congress.
Yes.
Maybe you can explain that, how that works for our viewers here.
Sure thing. So PSM was actually established in on supposed to be May 1st, but actually it was April 30th of 1998. So that makes it 28 years. So when we look at the history of it, for the first 10 years, from 98 to 2008, we have not been registered So we had already submitted our application on the 30th of April. It was supposed to be May 1st. However, May 1st is a holiday.
Okay.
So the office was not open.
Okay, got it.
So April 30th, we submitted our application, and it took us 10 years for them to go through everything and then grant us application. Mahathir time, we did not get in.
Okay.
Barawi came up, and then we had a little bit more opportunity. We were registered 2008. So officially on paper, as a registered party, 10 years.
Okay.
But for PSM, 28 years.
Okay, that explains why the numbers differ from the actual registration itself.
Yeah.
Right, so while we were there, we noticed that you guys are creating what we call this bloc progressive, made of Muda, Parti Asli, PRM, and you guys. But of course, this is basically the new third force that you guys are building for the build-up for the next GE. Now, to a voter, of course, people are wondering, can this really be a formidable third force when these are all fringe groups of parties? What do you say to that?
I think firstly, we have to accept fact.
Okay.
We are not as big as PH. We are not as big as PN or BN. We are not as popular. We don't have much resources. We don't have the buildings, the money, the backing.
You guys have buildings now.
We have a building now. So
a building now.
So I think we have to face facts and accept reality on that front. However, when we look at political alignment in Malaysia, we have to always think about what is to be gained by the movement, essentially. So what is to be gained by for us ordinary Malaysians, for the workers on the ground, and is aligning with PHBN / BNPN, is that going to be bringing the struggle forward?
Okay.
And for a long time, from 1998 when we were founded up until 2018, we were with PH. We were aligning with them. We used their logo, build offices for them, campaign for them. However, once we get that was all in an effort to bring the movement forward, and I think we have succeeded to an extent, actually, especially in 2018 when BN fell for the first time. However, post that, what we see from what PH had promised and what they have delivered, it is all but disappointment. And even then, we had given them chance. We when we wanted to get ready for general elections, and it was them that rejected us. So after seeing all of that, for a coalition partner that has been with them for 20 odd years, understanding that change takes time, reform takes time, all of that, we finally had enough. So right now we are looking for an alignment that better reflects our values and better reflects the struggle taking forward. So now PH has not become an ally, it has become an enemy. So that is the realities that we're facing today. Whether or not it is as electorally effective, that is a second thing. So if you win in elections, there must be something that you're bringing forward, a struggle that you're bringing forward. And right now we're not interested in bringing forward the kind of politics that PH is bringing forward. We want to open up a space for the common people of Malaysia.
Okay, but let's look on the other side as well. While we're talking about PH, we must also talk about PN. Malaysia is made of two-bloc party system. Right? We have one on the government side and one on the opposition side. When you guys break rank with PH, you guys didn't naturally go into PN as well, right? And well, IPR was formed. Well, you guys were not part of IPR as well. Why that didn't happen? Because are you guys trying to do something different here?
So we are an anti-capitalist, party, and our movement is such. So when we leave the political machinations of trying to protect the rich and not having any principles to align with BN, that is PH's work. That is we align with PN. That is PH's work. It's not our work. So for us, we are interested in bringing forward a politics that is outside of this racial and religious lens, that is outside of this capitalist lens. We want to bring our movement forward. And as I said before, previously, during Reformasi time, during when BN was Bermaharaja Lela, that space we found with PH. But right now, the situation has differed, and PH has changed to an extent. And the opportunity to bring our politics forward is with the progressive bloc at the moment.
But obviously, the idea of these political parties, right, is to win seats, is to form governments. How does PSM transform your conscience, right? You have this ideological conscience that you have into a formidable group that can actually win seats. Because ultimately, you are talking with parties like Orang Asli, and what do you call PRM, and Muda, who do not really have that kind of support on ground.
Sure. That's just the dilemma that we're facing today, actually. This is why, I mean, I want to be very honest, that we know that this is a long shot, essentially. But the vision is for the long term.
Okay.
So we are building something that has enough of a platform, such that people who are like-minded as us and people who want to see change in Malaysia can get on board.
Okay.
So it's not an offering that we're giving to the masses. It is an opening. You know, we are here. Come join us. Come build the movement. Essentially, rather than we are here, we will serve you, and that's our job. You have no you have no involvement with this. No, we have to change the system.
Okay.
That is the idea that we want to bring forward.
Okay. To change the system, you need to stand in all constituency.
Of course.
Right. But obviously now let's look back into what happened in Johor and look at what happened in Negeri. I think in Johor in Johor you guys stood in one seat, and in Negeri you guys stood in one seat as well. Now, overwhelmingly, people wanted the easy choice. They vote for blocks that can really form government, which on this case is going to be PH or it's going to be PNBNT, right? Do you think that, like, you guys, when you guys just stand in one or two seats, that does not give people the confidence to vote for you guys?
That's correct. Yes,
right?
Of course, it doesn't give the people.
And how do you break that then?
We have to stand in more seats.
Okay.
So I'm completely in agreement with that.
Okay.
However, that doesn't mean, for example, Johor and Negeri Sembilan, we admit that in Johor and Negeri Sembilan, our concentration is low.
Okay.
So our strength was one seat in each, essentially. But we are building on that. So, for example, Amin Shafiq is a new candidate that we have.
Okay.
In Selangor, we have new candidates coming up. In Perak, we have new candidates coming up.
Okay.
So we are completely in alignment with everyone that is saying that we need to stand in more seats.
Okay.
Given the constraints that we have, given the plan that we have, and given the block that we have, this is exactly why we're building a block progressive.
Okay.
So that it's not all on us to stand in all of the seats. It's we can share that as well, essentially. So it's all upcoming. However, it takes time because we don't have the capital to expand as quickly as we want to.
Obviously, you guys had a congress recently. You guys had 3 days worth of discussions. Was there any strategy planned, or will be engaged for the upcoming elections?
Of course.
To possibly change this ceiling here.
Yes. So we had our a very good presentation from the Ilham Center. Of course, I can't say all the details.
Yeah, of course.
But we had
what you can share.
we had an open and honest review of what the Malaysian people actually are looking for, what they are voting for, what their situation is. And when we took all of that into consideration, we say that there is a red thread actually that goes to all of that. At the end of the day, people are trying to vote for what will make their lives better.
Okay.
So if we can offer that somehow, we can get those votes. So actually, very interestingly, when you see Malacca elections, Bersama has announced their candidates, and they are very strategic in announcing in half of the or just over half of the seats. That means if they win everywhere, then they will form election. They will form the government. Right? It's very smart. Actually, it is something that we have been debating with for a very long time. Maybe we will see that in the upcoming elections with the Bloc Progressive, and then we can see how people can accept that. If you ask me, I've always said that if I want to stand in elections, I want to name a Menteri Besar. So we are working towards that.
Of course. See, that's the thing. When people talk about elections, people look at parties like yours, parties like Bersama and whatnot, as spoilers, basically, to the bigger guys, purely because you guys do not stand enough seats to basically form a government. We do love multiracial parties. You guys, you have got great visions. You guys have great plans for the country, and people do want to support parties like you. But essentially, when you guys do not stand enough seat, then people think that this is just going to be a spoiler for the greater evil. Right? It can be either one. Like for the conservative guys, they're going to say the greater evil is PH. For the liberal one, they're going to say PH is evil. Right? They say the greater evil might just come in because they put in the votes for you guys. Right? How do you convince someone today, like, while we wait for you guys to put 15 seats in the future, how do you get these people to vote for you guys today?
I think those those voters, I would consider them as passive voters.
Okay.
There's only so much we can do. We can show them all of the strengths that we have. We can show them all of the victories that we have won.
Okay.
We have won thousands of houses for plantation communities, hundreds of thousands of ringgit for workers. Minimum wage came because of us. Employment insurance came because of us. Perpetual reform came because of us. We show them all of this.
Okay.
But until and unless we can capture power, or we can put up enough people to capture power, they're not going to be convinced. We
Okay.
can accept that.
Okay.
However, there is another form of voter
Okay.
that wants to get involved. Actually, I've seen that a lot in our previous Congress.
Okay.
When people that I've known for a while, and even people that I've not known, they are saying that they are looking to get involved with something, not just vote, but get involved with the project, get involved with building something.
Okay.
Now, those kinds of people are who we want to capture for the aspirational aspect of it, and then they become our co-architects as we build. So as
Okay.
we get more and more people together, then we expand our base, then we can stand in more seats.
All right, cool, man. All right, I think we're done with politics for now.
Sure.
But let's talk about the main thing that we are here today,
Sure.
which is about your book, The Red Tiger. So let me just take a look at this book here right now.
Sure.
So it says Red Tiger, Practical Socialism in Malaysia. Can you just tell us about what is this book all about?
Okay, so actually it's very funny because it came from our struggles in elections. So
Okay.
nobody understands what socialism is.
Okay.
Everybody equates it with like violence, state bureaucracy, all
See,
of that.
yeah.
So
Communism as well.
Communism, yeah.
The
and
hand,
and we wanted to break. I really wanted to break that,
Okay.
that concept, and I wanted to break it in such a way that it is very localized to the Malaysian struggle as well.
Okay.
So this book is the end to end of socialism. Everything from when it starts in the beginning with all the theories from Marx, Lenin, Mao.
Okay.
A crash course of it.
Okay.
Goes into how socialism was practiced in Malaysia. Goes into what is the vision of socialist economy. How do we want to change the political structure? Because parliamentary democracy, we can see it has largely failed. It's not a representation of the people.
Okay.
And then I go on further to talk about what are the cultural aspects in capitalist society that we are critiquing.
Okay.
Where we are placed in the world in terms of economic conditions, in terms of our relations with not only countries that are similar than us, but also countries that take advantage of us. And then in the end, I say, okay, now you read all of this. This is all of your responsibilities. Go get organized.
Okay.
Is the kind of thing. So it's basically like an end-to-end type of socialism. The target audience is general public who want to learn about socialism.
Okay.
But it's also useful as a handbook for our cadres and our comrades
Okay.
to get more of an understanding of what we're building towards.
Okay, Arveent, I just want to ask you, and this is just a pushback.
Sure.
Now, you wrote about socialism, but we know this country heavily relies on racial politics, patronage, racial identity. Isn't like socialism something that's really out of touch with the regular rakyat?
It's a very good question, actually. And when you read the book,
Okay, all right.
marketing the book.
There you go, marketing the book right now.
Yeah, no. When you read the book, we analyze that as well. So when you look at socialism, it is not a simple economic analysis. It is not a simple political discourse. It is a deep understanding of society. So when we look at things such as what we call the base and superstructure, how economics affects other aspects of society, including race, including religion, and how those are used. That kind of analysis is what that is in the book. So the way that we see race and religion and how it is used in Malaysia specifically is a distraction from the core what we call contradiction, which is between labor workers and the bourgeoisie, which is capitalists essentially. So making this distinction clear, so that people understand the role of race and religion within the politics of Malaysia as it stands at the moment, brings about an understanding of exactly what the underlying forces are, and therein lies the understanding of socialism.
Okay, all right. So you wrote a book on practical alternative, but let's be real. People always mention that socialist ideas are usually politically untenable or economically naive as well.
Sure.
Especially in today's global market. Now, you say this is practical.
Yes.
Now, what will be the most practical policy in Red Tiger that you guarantee will work for Malaysia today? That that Malaysia should fund without us going bankrupt or without us crashing our FDIs?
That's a very good question, actually. A bit of a pushback first. We see the market crashing every 10 years, and then we call capitalism sustainable. That is a
Okay.
So,
that's right.
what we can find, actually, like in my chapter 3 economy, I go through a lot of the Malaysian condition.
Okay.
And one thing that has come up and we are fighting for in PSM as well is what we call the jobs guarantee scheme.
Okay.
So the jobs guarantee scheme came about because our workers are underpaid. Our workers are underpaid because our economy is largely controlled by foreign investment, foreign capital, or big capitalists who are trying to minimize the amount of wages that are paid to the worker. So what we are saying is, create pressure to the private sector by creating jobs in the economy from the government. So these are investments that the private sector is not going to do. They're not going to invest in social work. They're not going to invest in green economy largely. They're not going to invest in care economy largely. So in these kind of things we can fund. And the next question, I know what is coming. We are funding all of this. Where is the money coming from? Very good. Just take a simple example: social work. Social work, you're putting social workers within PPR communities. PPR communities are notorious for having social issues.
Yes, of course.
Gangsterism. They're notorious for having people who are sick because rubbish is there. Notorious for no railing, people are falling down. You have social workers there identifying these conditions. You are targeting your help towards these people. You're uplifting the community there. Lesser social issues, lesser healthcare issues. Whatever money that you're putting in, we are saving somewhere else. And this only the government can do, because the private sector is only focusing on one sector. Right? One sector, they make money there only, they care. But the government, what they can do, they can invest in one, make it another. This is what I call integrated accounting.
All right. But it's a thing. Let's talk about let's now push back again. So it sounds good on paper. Like, you get money from one sector and then push and move it to a sector that really needs it. But let's look at Malaysia. Malaysia is heavily integrated into global trade. And reliant on FDIs to move needles, right? Now, if you're gonna take capital from one industry or one sector and probably distribute to another, in one way or another, it's going to directly impact in one way or another private multinational firms. And private multinational firms, they are the one investing the capital, and ultimately they're going to look at profits. If they don't make the profits, then they're going to move to countries where they can make the profit. It's not going to be Malaysia anymore. It's probably going to be Vietnam, or it's going to be Bangladesh, or some other country which is much more attractive for them. Now, wouldn't that shock the economy? Wouldn't that deplete our country out of money? And that will just be bad for us.
In the short term, what they're going to do is compete for workers. So that will uplift our labor conditions. They are competing with the government sector, so they will raise wages and such. But for me, if they leave lah, we can take over. That's the kind of mindset that we need to have. You see, our economy.
You sound like North Korea right now.
Our economy is not just having
some form of Myanmar as well.
Our economy does not only have FDIs and huge multinational firms. They do have it, and largely we play to their tune. However, it also has huge firms that are GLCs, GLICs, and in fact, if you read Edmund Terence Gomez's book, we can see the depth of the GLCs that are there. But these GLCs, they are working as private firms. Now, for a government, and GLC is a government-linked company, the whole point of a GLC is that it gives back to the masses. So realizing that, it's actually very simple. Realizing that is like a switch, basically. So once you flip that switch, you have a lot more capital that is necessary. If you're brave enough to make all of these firms, for example, let's say you make the big firms non-profit. So all of their profit goes into development. Cannot.
Let's just take like one sector. Hospitals. Obviously, as you know, in Malaysia right now, we have private hospitals mushrooming, and that's basically creating a lot of shock in the public healthcare, because it is declining rapidly as well. Right? What can socialism do in that particular sector?
So right now we have a healthcare campaign in PSM, basically, where we say we have a moratorium on private hospitals. First of all, private hospitals are mushrooming. And when we say we need to, and then we say we need to build more public hospitals, and then when we say we need to build more public hospitals, they say there's not enough healthcare workers. Then how are private hospitals mushrooming?
That's true.
This is a question that we
Okay.
need to have.
Okay.
So the reality of the situation is these are all excuses.
Okay.
You know, our healthcare workers are overworked. Our
Okay.
healthcare workers are not getting get enough input, not getting enough. So we need to take care of this sector by investing into the sector.
Okay.
Right now we have about 2.2%, 2.3% of
Okay.
investment
Okay.
of our GDP into the public healthcare sector.
Okay.
We need to raise that to 5%.
Okay.
That is number one,
Okay.
right? By hook or by crook, we need to find that.
Okay. All right, but just investing alone does not really mean anything. We must have ideas on how we're going to use that investment
Yeah.
into mobilizing and obviously executing ideas
Yeah.
in that. What will be the idea? Are we looking to increase the wage? But wouldn't increasing wage then impact other industries as well?
How would it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
No, it won't.
It won't.
Because you increase the wage of a doctor,
Okay.
less likely for the doctor to go to the private sector.
Okay.
70% of of people in Malaysia,
Okay.
they go to the public sector.
Mhm.
So now we are facing a very very low amount of specialists in the public sector.
Okay.
But you increase his wages, is going to be here, means good lah.
Okay, but obviously increasing wage comes with inflations, right? Because people then say, look, we need to pay more for this, so now we need to make more money. So somebody's going to drive up the price, and that's how inflation starts.
No, but this is an investment from the government.
Okay.
There's not price that the people have to pay. There's no inflation there.
Okay.
It's a direct investment
Okay.
to the person who's the healthcare worker.
But here's the thing: building costs money, medicine costs money, specialists cost money. Wouldn't that actually pressure the government even more?
Good lah. Why are you a government that is in Malaysia when you have the needs of the masses and you're
Okay.
not responding to that? Like I'm not here to listen to the excuses of the government.
Okay.
I'm pointing out you have GLCs, you have
Okay.
GLICs, you have
Okay.
investments and infrastructure that is not even in Malaysia, like Battersea, for example,
Okay.
not even in Malaysia.
Okay.
Why have all of that and your people here are suffering?
Okay.
We have to pay a lot more to go to the private sector. Improve your services.
Okay. Now let's talk about France.
Sure.
Let's look at these kind of countries where healthcare is free, healthcare is subsidized very heavily. But if you look at those kind of countries, there's two things that will happen. Number one, economic stagnations will happen. Or number two, there'll be a lot of bureaucratic overreach.
Okay.
All right. Now, I believe that if we go by your ideology, like or your visions of practical socialism, making hospitals better and schools better, all these kind of things better, we'll fall into that kind of same trap as well. Like what happened in Europe, a lot of stagnations will happen, whether politically or economically. Am I right?
So first of all, we need to define a few things, and I'll go through one by one first. First is economic stagnation. What is economic stagnation? If the GDP number is not going up,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
Yeah. Okay.
So long as the people have enough food to eat,
Okay.
their lives are okay, then
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Okay.
Second thing is bureaucracy.
Okay.
So of course, when you write about socialism, we're going to get pushback about bureaucracy. So if you look if you read the book, inside the chapter 4,
Okay.
political structure for socialist
Okay.
Malaysia, we can see how we can democratize
Okay.
every level of decision making, right down to the person who is in your residential area.
Okay.
So that level of involvement is what is missing, and that is what will break bureaucracy actually. So
Okay.
if we have that level of transparency,
Okay.
that will help taking it forward. In fact, we're talking about bureaucracy at the moment, but in the entire world, about 5 or 6 companies control about 80% of production. So is that not bureaucracy?
Yeah.
We just don't see it. You
Okay.
see? So there is ways and means to go about it essentially, but the most important thing is ordinary people like you and me. We need to have the power to make decisions. We need
Okay.
to have the power to create the what we need, and we need to control what we call the means of production.
Okay. As you're talking to me, what I believe you're talking to me are fairy tale ideas.
Okay.
Tell you why. Socialism might probably work if the country is developing and we are always having good FDIs and we are having this track record of bringing in a lot of money in. But today's world is different. It is very chaotic. Right, we have a lot of wars happening, we have sanctions happening, and obviously businesses are not doing good because there's a lot of economic pressures from China and all this kind of sorts. And obviously, Malaysia, we'll be talking about Malaysia today, our oil is not really selling as what, or it's not bringing as much profit as we had last time. Now, wouldn't these kind of ideas only work on paper, but not really grounded on reality of today.
But
It's not probably reachable for us in the next
Sure.
20 years. Do you think so?
I don't understand the question actually. Let me start there.
Okay.
So basically, like these ideas are infantile because the political condition of the entire world.
The economy, the economy is not doing so well today.
You read in the book.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna do that.
Yeah. That is also a pathway to get there.
Okay.
First of all, we need to do what Samir Amin calls delinking from the global supply chain.
Okay.
That is one thing that we need to
Alright.
that we need to be very involved in.
Okay.
We cannot have this dependency on FDI. So
Okay.
how do we reduce that? We need to increase local production. How do we do that?
Okay.
We need to look at what resources that we have at the moment and channel it to the key sectors that we need.
Okay.
Then focus there, build up there, get your production high there, and then you move on to one or the other.
Okay.
And then whatever you need to have relations with other countries, the global south countries, we can have a better understanding of how to sit and talk to each other there. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be without challenge. It's not going to be easy, of course. But navigating that is the challenge that we need to take for. So the idea is this. This needs to be done.
Okay.
Ways and means need to be done. We figure it out.
Okay.
And some of which I have also expanded here.
Okay.
But if we do not do this, we see the death cult that is the US and Western imperialism.
Yeah.
We're going to be bombed, and what are we going to do? Who are we going to have?
Okay.
Where's our local production?
Okay.
At least Venezuela, as bad as it is,
Yeah.
at least Venezuela has their communes.
Yeah.
At least Venezuela, every day there is food that is sent to the people, and they're
Okay.
eating that. A lot or a little, there's another thing. But do we have that in Malaysia?
Okay.
If we are sanctioned as Venezuela is sanctioned, who are we going to rely on? We are not going to rely on anyone at the moment.
Okay.
We need to build our local production. That
Okay.
is the argument here.
All right. So now this book is Practical Socialism in Malaysia. Now, and if this book is built on ideas on how to mobilize the people, the marhain, but here's the thing: majority of the rakyat or the working class voters, the people, right, that makes the country, right, continue to back capitalist coalitions
Yeah.
or conservative platforms. At what point do you admit that maybe Malaysians just simply do not want a socialist economic model?
That's actually Malaysians would prefer a socialist economic model. It's only that the propaganda that is sold to them because of who owns media at the moment. When we think about it,
Okay.
who owns even social media? We think about social media as this great equalizer, but
Okay.
Elon Musk owns it.
Okay.
Meta is owned by who? Mark Zuckerberg owns
Yes,
it, and
that's
they
right.
have their political leanings as well.
Okay.
So when we look into all of these things, we cannot simply state that Malaysians are not, or ordinary people are not supporting this, therefore they do not want it. No, we have to look at all of the different lenses that they are looking through,
Okay.
and who put those lenses there, and
Okay.
how do we break those lenses there. And as a very small party and as a very small individual myself,
Okay.
getting to the masses, of course, is going to be challenging, but
Okay.
it is a process,
Okay.
and whatever challenge that comes up within that process, we will have to face.
Okay.
This is it's no longer like our pathway is difficult, so we have to take another path. No, sometimes the pathway is going to be difficult.
Okay.
You just have to go through.
All right. So today we are where we are today, capitalists, right? Capitalist driven, and you are basically bringing an idea which is very socialist driven. At which point do you think Malaysia will be interested to engage with socialist ideas?
Malaysians,
Yeah, Malaysians.
I think.
Do you think there will ever be a point where we'll come there and say, look, socialist ideas now looks favorable for us. We need this more.
Those conditions are coming very quickly, actually.
Okay.
As we see the failures of PH, as we see the failures of BN and PN, because we must remember BN and PN are promising socialist, quote unquote, what do you call that, advances
Yeah.
through a racial lens.
Okay.
They are saying all of you people don't have this because some racist guy came and took it away from you. We will give you this, but they cannot give. The reality is
Why?
Because the economic model is such.
Okay.
Ordinary people do not deserve or are not favored by the economic condition
Okay.
to get the things that they need to get. They're not
Okay.
favored to get the high salaries that they need to
Okay.
get. That's
Okay.
why so many years we've had minimum wage act, but every 2 years it's supposed to be reviewed every 2 years.
Okay.
Has that ever happened? It's only every 3 years
Yes.
at best.
Yes.
Right? And then also Mahathir one time they only
Small.
he only increased it for 50 ringgit.
Yeah.
So as economic conditions begin to worsen, people will get more realization.
Okay.
Our and this is why I say actually socialism is destined.
Okay.
You know, one
Destined.
day
Wow.
destined.
Okay.
Yeah, we will win one day.
Bold predictions. man.
Yes, but it's only when we will win.
Okay.
So either we will win when the economic condition is so bad that people are like are suffering so much that they have to come to us,
Okay.
or we compete with that and we try to get them on as early as possible so that we minimize suffering.
Okay.
Our work
Okay.
is not winning.
Okay.
Winning is destined.
Okay.
Our work is to minimize the suffering of the masses through
Okay.
my lens lah. That's my
Okay.
idea.
All right. Cool. Now, tell us what can readers learn from this particular book of yours.
There are three things that I want readers to take away from this. The first thing is, don't be afraid of socialism.
Okay.
Socialism is not some tiger somewhere trying to some red tiger somewhere that's going to kill you. No,
Okay.
socialism is very practical,
Okay.
very actionable,
Okay.
on the ground, and we
Okay.
have practiced it for a very long time.
Okay.
Come and learn about what it is. Second thing is, I want them to say, don't lose hope. You know, a lot of time when we are looking at the political and economic conditions here, socio-economic conditions that we have, that especially on social media as it gets worse and worse, we lose hope that any change is possible.
Okay.
And it's not just in Malaysia. A lot of people may have an idea whereby if they just move to another country, it'll be better. It's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, of course.
The UK is down, Poland is down,
Down.
Australia is down,
Down.
everywhere is down.
That's right.
So it's very depressing to live in a like this, and I just want when they read through the book to know that there are ways to like make things better,
Okay.
and I hope it gives them some hope.
Okay.
And the third thing that I want them to do is get organized.
Okay.
At the end of the day, nobody is going to solve your problems for you. You know, I'm using the capitalist mindset now.
Okay.
Nobody's going to solve your problems for you.
Okay.
We have to find a solution together.
Okay.
You have to get involved.
Okay.
So get organized. So I'm not saying join PSM because very cliche.
Okay.
But you know, there are organizations out there who
Okay.
do like very important work. You
Okay.
know, find one that aligns with you.
Mhm.
Do something that brings the movement forward even an inch is
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
Basically, you know,
Okay.
feed someone. You know, work on environmentalism. Do something. You
Okay.
know, and I hope this can give them some ideas on where to work on.
Okay. All right. Where do we get this book then?
This-
Maybe this is the right time for you to hold your book.
Hey, thank you. Yeah. So you guys can get this book. I still have about 40-50 copies
Okay.
with myself.
Okay.
So if you get it from me, I'll sign it. So
Okay.
it's 55 ringgit with me.
Okay.
Or you can get it from Gerakbudaya. Gerakbudaya is my publisher.
Okay.
They sell it for a little bit cheaper, 52 ringgit. So you can get it online from them, or you can get it online from myself. Link I'll share essentially. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. Will we see you compete in the coming elections soon?
I'm building up my base. I'm based in Gombak at the moment.
Oh, that's Azmin Ali, isn't it?
Gombak is Amiruddin now.
Amiruddin. Oh, Amiruddin now. Oh, yeah. Gomba is. Yeah.
we
totally
always
forgot.
go against Mustari Basala. You know, Azmin Ali, then Amiruddin Shari.
Okay.
So I'm based in Gombak.
Okay.
Our team is admittedly small, but we are growing.
Okay.
So we want to do some groundwork there first
Okay.
and establish our base there first before we contest.
Okay.
If I can do it quick enough, maybe. If not, one day I will.
Okay. So we'll definitely see you at one point or another in Parliament.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. With that, thank you so much, brother. I
Thank you
really
so
enjoy having you on the show and having this tug of war, basically, on ideas and opinions. PSM has always been very fascinating for me.
Yeah.
Right? I love the ideas and plans that you guys have. Sometimes I think it's overly ambitious as well. Maybe because where we are today, right? Where we are today, and we have not come realistically to a socialist mindset just yet. But maybe, like you said, when the robots take over the world, and when we don't have we can really grow crops, maybe,
Yeah.
then we all gonna be a socialist in one form or another.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Whether you see PSM as an unwavering moral compass of Malaysian politics, or whether or is the ideological movement behind it is struggling against the gravity of two-party system, one thing is clear: the debate over how PSM looking to uplift the marhen is very, very clear. They are working for the people, right? A big thank you to Arveent for joining us today and putting his ideas on the line. Make sure to pick up his new book. Can I get your book now? Okay, there you go. The Red Tiger Practical Socialism in Malaysia. Available now through Gerakbudaya and hopefully to TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Myself as well. Yeah.
Right. So to everyone watching the Rise, drop your thoughts in the comments. Can a third force break through in Malaysia, or is the two-bloc system here to stay? Also, are you gonna get the last 40 books that Haldin has just in his hand? So hit subscribe, stay critical, and we'll see you on the next update.